to see you.
Good, Matty. What's going on, mate?
I'm here with Steve Grimer and we're going to take a closer look at his VK Calais.
Hey, guys.
Thanks for showing everybody your car.
No worries, all good. Well, when I first bought it, it had an original LS engine in it, like just stock, with the turbocharger. And the dream for the car, well, the goal was to run a 9-second pass.
Okay.
I thought I'd be happy once I ticked that box, which on the first pass it went 10.1, and the second pass ever in the car it went 9.90.
And when you say first and second pass, you're talking about drag challenge,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Which is one of the main things that this car was built for.
Yes, I bought it and built the car for drag challenge. So I've seen what the guys in the States do with drag week, and it looked like a lot of fun. Well, there's guys at Street Machine decided to do a drag challenge in Australia. Some friends went, and obviously they told me how great it was. So I said, right, it's time to build a drag challenge car. So that's where this thing come along.
I think that we should go and take a closer look.
No worries.
Let's go.
Too easy.
All right, so there it is.
That's it, mate. It's where the magic happens. Initially had an aluminium LS1 in it when I first purchased it. So the aluminium LS1 is the Aussie version of what comes out in all our passenger cars.
It was Aussie 5.7, correct?
Aussie 5.7 litre, yeah, LS1.
Cool.
So we imported this 5.3 litre iron block out of America, which comes out in their trucks over there, mainly for strength and reliability. So the aluminium can crack at high horsepower boost levels. So sent away to Troy at Warspeed. You may have heard of Troy before. He's quite well known in the LS world. This is his forte. We decided to go the cast iron block, but we basically machined it back out. So we bought it to suit all the LS1 internal. So now it's a 5.7 litre iron LS1 basically. With what I do with this car, as in drive it interstate and race it, it had to be reliable. That was what I said to Troy. I said, do what needs to be done to make it reliable. It's got a set of Carrillo H-beam conrods in there, a set of CP bullet forged pistons. Troy's sent the heads away to Higgins, got a CNC program that they do together, so the heads are CNC'd. Camshaft, lifters, push rods, the usual sort of stuff to make it reliable. It's got 1600cc injectors. Obviously needs a bit more than standard for E85.
E85, that's right. You need a lot more fuel flow.
Need a lot more fuel flow. The entire fuel system front to back is all braided speed flow lines. Again, it's just reliability. It actually runs a standard GM ECU, reprogrammed. Whole car's been rewired. The rest of it is your standard sort of typical turbo stuff, steam pipe manifolds. It's all been titanium wrapped for heat with the beanie on the back there. Front mount intercooler, big throttle body, and a 75mm Borg-Warner turbo.
Yeah, it's a little bit sizable up the front there.
Yeah, you could look, a lot of guys are running bigger turbos, which is, I sort of wanted to go a bigger turbo on it, but for what I do with the car and how much it gets driven, it's the right size. We could make 100, 200 horsepower more at the wheels with a bigger turbo, but then you're sacrificing, your lag and your drivability.
Sure. And I mean, like, given that you want this to be your driver,
correct.
Driving is a goal.
Yeah.
Not chasing a number or big dicking with like an extra 5 horsepower than you made.
It doesn't fuss me. The car, for what it is, untubbed. So the tyres and the wheel wells are standard size. It's crazy. Like on E85, if you hit the throttle at anything less than 140, it just ignites the tyres on a racetrack, of course.
On a racetrack, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so the goal is to run an 8-second pass. The goal was to run a 9-second pass when I first bought it, but it did that with the stock aluminium LS1 in it. So then we actually decided to step it up a little bit, and we're here now. So the goalpost has been moved to run an 8-second pass.
Once you hit 8 seconds, are you going to be aiming for 7s?
Yes, I am aiming for 7s, but not in this car.
I think we should take a look at that other car another time as well, because that's a pretty unique build.
There's more custom fabrication in that car than this being a genuine VK Calais. I didn't want to go cutting it up and doing too much sort of crazy modifications to it, because it's a nice car that gets driven. The other one is different. It's bigger tyre, bigger turbo, more cubic capacity, a lot more horsepower, so it's set up to go fast.
I think you've found the perfect balance between power and speed, but also keeping it streetable, drivable, stock looking. It's a hard line to walk, especially when every step is incremental. It's pretty easy to take that one step too far and then you can't come back from it, right?
100%. This car was built to be driven, and I don't want to step outside those boundaries. When it becomes painful to drive, or it won't make it, I can't drive it for 12 hours straight. If I can't do that, that's where this car ends. Like, it has to stay how it is, basically. Well, this car was basically built for Street Machine Drag Challenge. That was the goal back in the day. 5 tracks, 5 days, and the car must be not towed and no support vehicles. 4,000 to 5,000 kilometres in 10 days. So anything that you need for the week's racing has to be in the car, and your friends who come with you.
Or in a trailer, right?
Or in a trailer, yes. You can have a trailer, you can have a roof basket if that's your thing, but it can't be towed by another vehicle, so the vehicle's got to be self-sufficient.
And your support crew have to be in your car, correct?
Correct.
You're one team, one car, one trailer, 5 racetracks, 5 days. It's mayhem, it's carnage.
Correct, it is. It's. I can't explain it to you unless you're there. I mean, this is relatively low maintenance car. Some of the guys that bring some stuff out there are next level street cars, but you have to carry obviously a set of radials, different fuels, food, clothes. Some people swag, some people camp. Convert the car to race trim at the racetrack, which in this car is quite easy. It's just put a set of radials on the back, remove the headlight for some airflow to the turbo, and race it. There's no dropping exhaust or anything like that.
One thing that we should point out for our international audiences, in Australia, everything is really fucking far away from each other. So these racetracks that they're driving to, they're spending a whole day and a whole night. It could be 600 kilometres, what's that like? 200-300 miles between racetracks.
Easy.
You have to show up, you have to race, you have to eat, you have to maintain the car, and then you've got like 400 kilometres of driving.
Every day.
It's a wild week, right?
Yeah, it is.